In the quiet riverside town of Ikoma, life moved to the rhythm of the sun. The market stood at its heart, loud, colorful, full of barter, gossip, and the music of living. But when the sun sank behind the tall palm trees, Ikoma changed. Shadows stretched longer, the crickets grew silent, and even the wind whispered warnings. The elders said that the town was built upon an ancient ground, a place where the dead still traded under moonlight. No one stayed in the market after sunset, not even the boldest. No one, except Ijeoma. Ijeoma was 27, tall, soft-spoken, and beautiful in the way hard-working women often are, her hands calloused, her eyes tired but determined. Her husband, Obi, had gone missing in the river 3 years earlier while ferrying passengers across to Ogbit village. Since then, she'd been raising her twin boys alone, selling smoked fish and plantains to make ends meet. Poverty sat with her every evening like an uninvited guest. She often stayed longer at the market, trying to earn one more naira, ignoring the warnings of Mama Ejike, her neighbor who often said, "Child, when the night calls, the living must go home." One Friday evening, before we dive into this emotional and powerful story, please kindly support us by liking this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so that more people who are also interested can watch and learn from it. Your support means a lot.
Thank you very much for your support.
As the market emptied, Ijeoma packed her unsold fish into a small basket and began to head home when she heard a man's voice behind her. "Madam, I want to buy some fish." She turned. A tall man in an old brown coat stood by the abandoned yam stall. His face was hidden under a hat, and his voice carried a calm that made her uneasy. She hesitated but forced a smile. "It's late, sir. The market is closed." "Please," he said. "I've just arrived from the riverside. My people are hungry." Against her instincts, she opened the basket and sold him 2 pieces. When she looked down at her hands, the coins he dropped were wet, covered in mud. When she looked up again, he was gone. Only the faint smell of river water lingered. That night, sleep evaded her. She could hear the sound of paddles dipping into water and men's voices calling her name faintly. She woke up twice to find her front door slightly open. She locked it again and prayed. In the morning, she told Mama Ejike, who crossed herself and whispered, "You've met the water people. Don't go near the river at night." But Ijeoma laughed it off. She couldn't afford to stay home because of ghost stories. A week later, the strange man returned, this time standing near her stall just before dusk. "I need more fish," he said. She hesitated but obeyed. As he handed her payment, she noticed his fingers, long, pale, cold, dripping as if from unseen rain. She dropped the coins, startled. He smiled faintly. "The river remembers those who owe it," he said and walked away. When she turned to pick up the money, it had turned to small pebbles. That night, she dreamed of the river. The moon hung over it like a silver bow, and on its surface floated market stalls, hundreds of them. Men and women traded there, their faces pale, their voices low and humming like distant drums. Among them was Obi, her husband, waving at her. He called her name, and she ran toward him, but the water pulled her under. She woke up gasping, her bed soaked as if she'd been drenched. Her twins cried in their sleep, murmuring, "Mama, Papa is calling." Days turned to weeks, and Ijeoma began to change. She moved slower, spoke less, and sometimes stared at the river for long hours. People said the spirit of Ikoma had marked her. Her neighbor begged her to see the village priest, but she refused. One evening, just as the sun dipped, she heard her husband's voice again. "Ijeoma." It came from the riverbank. Against reason, she followed it, her basket still in hand. When she reached the water's edge, Obi stood there, half submerged, smiling sadly. You left me, he said softly. Come home. Tears filled her eyes. But you're dead. He stretched out his hand. No, my love. I only crossed. You can still join me. She took a step forward, then another, until the cold water touched her feet. But then, a strong voice broke through the mist. Don't move. It was Chief Motsi, the old fisherman. He grabbed her arm and pulled her back. The apparition vanished instantly, leaving the water rippling like something had just dived in. By dawn, the elders gathered. They told her the truth. Ikioma had been cursed generations ago when traders desecrated the resting place of river spirits by building their market over it. Since then, every few years, the river took one trader who stayed past the sunset bell. The only way to break the bond was through cleansing by the river goddess herself. Ijeoma was told to meet Ezenwani, the river priestess, before the next full moon. The priestess lived deep in the swamp, her hut surrounded by mirrors and white cloths fluttering like trapped spirits. She was old but beautiful, her eyes glimmering with something not entirely human. The river wants you, she said. Your husband serves among them now. But you belong to the living. If you wish to stay here, you must return what the river gave you. Ijeoma was confused. What did it give me? Ezenwani smiled sadly. Your children. The words hit her like a spear. The twins had fallen sick days earlier, their eyes dull, their bodies cold. No, Ijeoma cried. They are innocent. The river gave them breath when your husband drowned, said the priestess. To save you from dying of grief. But debts must be paid. She was given a choice: surrender one child back to the river to balance the debt, or risk the river claiming all three, herself and the twins. For days, Ijeoma wrestled with the choice. On the night of the full moon, she carried her sleeping sons to the river, sobbing. Take me, she cried. Leave them. The wind rose, the water churned, and voices whispered all around. Then Obi appeared again, holding out his hands. You can't pay the debt with your life, he said softly. Our sons must live to break the curse. He placed his palm on her forehead, and she felt herself sinking. The next morning, her body was found by fishermen, lifeless, floating near the shore, her face calm as if sleeping. But her sons woke up that same hour, healed completely, their fevers gone. The priestess told the villagers that Ijeoma had become a guardian of the river, a spirit who would keep the balance between the living and the dead. Years passed. Every market day, people left the riverside before sunset. But some nights, fishermen claimed to see a woman standing on the water, carrying a basket of smoked fish, her eyes glowing faintly. They said she called out softly, "Fresh fish, warm from the fire." Those who heard it turned away quickly, whispering prayers. Yet, once in a while, a traveler would answer her call and vanish without a trace. The elders of Ikioma still tell her story, the tale of Ijeoma, the woman who traded with the river and paid her debt in love. The market still thrives by day, but when the last bell rings and the sun melts into the river, every trader hurries home, leaving their stores behind. Because in Ikioma, everyone knows that the dead still trade when the moon is full, and one voice calling in the dark might not belong to the living. Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story. Your likes, comments, and shares help this channel grow and keep us bringing you more powerful African tales like this one. Share it with your friends and family. Someone out there needs to hear this story tonight. Once again, thank you for your time and love. See you in the next video.